my channel Nisha Verma's tutorial. I am Nisha Verma with my new video on the poem A Photograph. A Photograph is a poem written by Shirley Toulson. Poetess. In this poem, poetess talks about the three phases of human being. In the first paragraph, she talks about the childhood period. In the second paragraph, she talks about the young age. And in the last paragraph, she talks about the last phase of human being. Let's read this poem, A Photograph by Shirley Toulson. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. And she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transit feet. In this paragraph, poetess is looking at the photograph which is pasted on the cardboard, which is framed on the cardboard. She looks at that photograph. This photograph belongs to her mother. It was a photograph of her mother when her mother was 12 years old. At that time, with her cousin, she went to sea beach for the holidays. And there, in that photograph, we can see that poetess' mother and her cousins were holding each other's hands. And they were smiling through their hair to the uncle who was capturing their photograph. In the photograph, their feet were very clearly seen. They were on the sea beach. The sea was clearly seen there. The sea which has not changed. The sea which has less changed. Dear students, nature remains the same. Nature never changes. But we human beings, we keep on changing. We human beings, we grow up. We from childhood period to we grow up to young age, then we go up to the old age, and after that there is death and decay. So the sea was the same. It has less changed. All the natural things never changed, dear students, like mountains, like river. It remains the same. So same thing was with the sea. The sea which was visible in that photograph, it has changed very less. It was the same. Poetess sea, her mother, she was smiling through the hair to uncle. She seems to be very happy. It seems that poetess mother's childhood was very happy childhood. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she would say. And look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter, both worry with the labored ease of loss. In the second paragraph, poet talks about the young age. When poetess mother was 40 or 50 years old, after the 20-30 years of that photograph, when poetess mother looks at that photograph, she feels so happy. With the sweet memories of her childhood, she feels so happy, and she must have talked to Dolly and Betty. She must have said to them that how they were dressed up, how their parents used to dress them up for the sea holidays. And she feels so happy when she memorized those periods. She feels so happy when she looks at that photograph, and the laughter of the mother. The laughter of the mother was so memorable for poetess even. Poetess, when is looking at that photograph, at that time, the time has changed. Poetess mother is now no more in this world. When poetess looks at that photograph, and then when she recalls, when she remembers that period, when poetess mother used to look at that photograph, and then she used to feel so happy. At that time, sea holidays were the pastime, but now for poetess to look at that photograph, to look at those memories of her mother was the pastime. And now the time has changed. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. It's silences. In the third paragraph, dear students, poet has described the last phase of human being. At the last phase of human being, when man grows up from childhood to young age, from young age to old age, and after the old age there is death and decay, dear student. So the same thing happened with the poetess mother. Poetess mother who had enjoyed her childhood period, and at the same time she spent her young age also very beautifully, and she was memorizing that period, that childhood period, and was feeling so happy. And now in the last paragraph, poetess is looking at that photograph. When she looked at that photograph, poetess was just enjoying that period when the mother used to see the photograph and feel happy. So now the poetess is not happy. Poetess is upset because now the circumstances are different. The circumstances has changed. Although the sea has remained the same, but the circumstances for poetess has changed. Now the poetess mother is no more with her. So the poetess remains silent.